What's shaking, guys? Luke Dancy here, ready to tell you all about Write-Thru from two people. We've got one of the two here. This is from Bizzaro and Danny Weiser. Danny Weiser is the man with me today to tell you all about this brand new thing called Write-Thru. What's shaking, buddy?
Hey Luke, what's shaking, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man, and I'm very excited. As you know, Danny, it's very hard for magicians, particularly, to keep things quiet. And this one was hard to keep quiet because it's really cool and it's really fun. And I've got mine here, and I've been clicking away, man. I've been clicking away.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's been a long time coming, so we're happy that it's finally out.
How long are we talking? Like, how long did it take to get this in your
So
hands and in my hands?
from conception till in our hands, roughly 10 years.
10 freaking years. All right. Well, I'm glad it's done and I'm glad it's here. But the big question is, what is it? What is Write-Thru? You know, I've got it. I know what it is. I've been clicking it. But why would I be doing any of this? Like, why am I clicking a pen? And what is Write-Thru? For those that haven't seen it just yet, what is this?
Sure. So Write-Thru is a pen through bill on steroids. I guess you can say that. If you know anything about pen through bill, super classic piece of magic that's been done for centuries. Originated with John Cornelius, and we are stepping on the shoulders of giants, and we wanted to take it one step further, and now allow for the click to happen through the bill, which is kind of cool. Kind of pen through bill with proof.
I like that, the proof, yeah. We do need to clarify. You said this is pin through bill on steroids, but this trick is not illegal like steroids are, right? Just to confirm, right?
Yes, do
All right.
not eat it. Do not, it will not make other things smaller. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no. You're safe. You're good. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I like to enhance products or enhance pieces of magic that have been out there, and this is our rendition of Pen Through Bill enhanced.
Sweet. Yeah, and that's the nice thing for my friends out there watching is normally you do the pin through bill, it goes through, that's your proof. Maybe you want to move the pin around a little bit. But now you've got the condenser, which makes a huge difference. A small thing makes a big difference here. The click. Even when the pin is going through the bill, you get that click with the ink coming out. And something really cool Danny just told me is that when the pin is going through the bill and you click it to get the ink to come out, what can you do with the pin at that moment, Danny? This is really cool.
You can write using it.
That's right.
Yeah. So if you wanted to have it through the bill and then draw something on a different piece of paper or on your hand or whatever, that could be done just to prove that it's real. But the idea of it being a writable pen was to allow the spectator to sign it at the beginning. The magician can sign it as well if their heart so pleases, and then can go into the trick. And then at the end, you can hand everything back
Yeah.
out.
And we'll get into a couple of the details loosely about different ways that you can wrap the routine up as well. But that is one really important thing is, my friends, you're not just getting the visual of the ink, coming out of the pen. You're actually getting the opportunity to write with it if you want to. There are two names mentioned here, Bizzaro and yourself. Just quickly, I think you mentioned to me earlier, the idea was something you were kicking around for a while. And then Bizzaro, one of the most just brilliant minds in our industry, kind of helped you take the idea and make it into a physical thing. I think that's how that worked, right?
Yeah, so Bizarre and I have been friends for a long time. We collaborate on a lot of different things. It's usually me going to him and saying, "Hey, can we do this?" And most of the time he says no. But this is something that he thought had legs, and
Yeah.
we wanted to roll with it. So I
Cool.
came to him with an idea using a different item, and something similar. Using that similar item had come out, and we kind of didn't want to trample on that person's
Yeah.
effect. So we decided to look at, the pen through bill and how we can use that idea to do with the pen through bill. And then Bizzaro was kicking around different methods of trying to get the click action to be able to work, and he finally nailed one. So it was a good collaborative back and forth, reiteration type deal.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always fun to collab with people, especially like me. I'm not the craftiest guy in the world, so to have someone that is that and then some, Bizzaro.
Something like this, though, I would not have been able to build myself.
Yeah.
Like he is the mechanical intricacy type of guy, and he
Mm-hmm.
knows what works and what doesn't, and he solved it.
Yeah. And I will say too, while the basic effect of pin through bill that's been around forever that Danny mentioned, this works in such a brilliant way that yeah, I could only think of someone like Bizzaro finding a way to actually make that happen inside of here. The secret stuff going on in there.
So,
Very
so
cool.
if you know anything about manufacturing, and I know that you do,
Mm-hmm.
making a prototype, one prototype, pretty easy. But to manufacture it in a large mass
Yeah.
is like a whole science in itself. So, like for Murphy's to take this and be able to go to the manufacturer and have it mass produced and being all good quality, blew our minds. Like we
Yeah.
took it out of the box and it works right away.
Yeah. And I will say too, before we get into some of the handlings and some of the other details, the pins themselves, because you're getting a nice little kit of stuff here. I'm not going to reveal anything there, but the pins themselves, I have to say, man, they look like regular pins. They look modern. They look like regular pins, which unfortunately has not always been the case with the pin through bill effect. So it's nice to see something look like it should, in the real world. So
Yeah, we wanted something that looks like if you were at a bank and there were like a pen cup, you would be
mhm.
able to take it out, kind of looking type of a pen.
Yep.
Nothing like a fountain pen, those old school, really fancy ones. We didn't want to go for the Rolex. We thought we would go for like the Timex.
Well, I got to say, it's definitely not a magic looking prop, which thank you
Right.
for
Yeah,
that.
of course.
Yeah.
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 It's cool. The kit that you get though comes with like a regular pen,
Mhm.
as well as the gimmicked pen, and as well as another piece to a gimmick if you wanted to clean up differently.
Mhm.
Um, but the two pens, the real pen and the gimmicked pen, look exactly alike. They're exactly the same. They work the same. They sound the same. They feel the same. So they'll be none the wiser.
No pun intended, because you're less
I
damage
was just
wiser.
gonna say that.
And I will
You know you're
say,
a dad when you have to use those dad
dad
jokes.
jokes.
Okay.
And I can attest to them both looking the same. So I have them here in my hands. I know you're jealous out there, friends. I know you. Let's jump into some of the little more detail here with the handlings. You mentioned that there's a lot shared on the instructional, but one thing you just shared with me that's really cool is there is a way to make it look like the bill is actually torn as well when the pin is going through the bill. But I know there's a lot more to share than just that. But yeah, you guys include a lot of different ideas and handlings, even a visual moment of the pin going through. So I'll let you kind of talk to that about the handlings with Write-Thru.
Yeah. So if you saw the trailer, which I'm sure all magicians did, probably played it more than once. The trailer was just so much fun to do. I don't know if you laughed at it or not, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I think I might need to powder you a little bit over there, by the way.
Yeah, that was real. That cough was real, by the way. He literally powdered me up. I felt like a donut after. Um,
Uh,
that was real. So that cough was real. Anyway, so Javier does this thing at the beginning of the trailer where he kind of just punches the pen through the bill, and it's like this really visual, not like hiding the bottom part of the bill of the pen as it goes through.
mhm.
So he teaches that on the tutorial how to get into that, how to make it look as visual as possible as it goes through, so that the rest of the routine just continues to look as natural as possible, like as if you were putting a pen through a dollar bill.
Right.
Um, on the tutorial, Bizzaro teaches, I think, two methods of like making it look like the pen is like, the paper or the bill is like ripped
Mhm.
around the pen as it's gone through, like that puncture look.
Mhm.
Um, so there's two ways of doing that. We teach, just the basic handling of pen through bill, right? Like as if you were getting like a 6-year-old's magic set for the first time and you're learning how to do pen through bill. We teach that. We teach some other handlings that allows you to clean up in multiple ways. I'm not a super technical kind of guy when it comes to um, sleights or that finesse. Very
Mhm.
simple. So I teach one switching method. Bizzaro teaches two switching methods. Um, yeah, but it's not the full. It's hard to explain without giving too much away. But like, there's a full pen switch, and
Yeah.
then there's a pieces type of switch.
Yeah.
but it's not really a switch because it's kind of built into the way that things are done. Again, it's super easy. When we create magic, we like to create magic that is simple to do, that anybody can pick up and do. My 6-year-old can do this, and he does. Every time I take it out, he's like, "Daddy, can I do that?" So yeah. So if you can click a pen, you can do this trick. If you can draw, you can do this trick. Yeah, you just need fingers. And if you don't have fingers, you can have the spectator push the clicked piece as it's through the bill, which Bizzaro does on the tutorial.
Yep. Yeah, that's a nice touch, literally, because they can feel it. You mentioned this to me earlier. They can feel it and know that it's actually, going through. And again, it feels just like the real pen too.
Yeah, so like sensory, right? When people fidget, right? They fidget and they click the pen. They like that feeling and sound.
Yep.
So when you have the spectator push the tip and then they could see the ink come out the other side, like there's two sensory pieces. There's the visual, there's three sensory pieces. There's the visual, there's the auditory, and there's the sensation.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And there is no doubt that that pin is going through the bill at that point. No pun intended either.
No, but what's really cool also, and to me, like I've only been really thinking about this recently, is that people who had magic sets when they were kids and then like never stayed within magic, if you showed this to them, they would be like, "Oh yeah, I know how it's done," right? Like it's not like you're showing it to a magician, right? You're showing it to a spectator who probably had one of these pen through bills as a kid. And then you do the click and they're like, "Whoa, what is that?"
Yep.
And I've shown it to people, in town who are just like, "Yeah, I used to do magic when I was a kid, yada, yada, yada." I had a pen through bill and they were blown away.
Yeah. You get that moment and it's like, wait, everything just changed. It just changed.
It's a nice beat, right? Like we're always into multiple beats of magic, and help prolong the routine or effect that you're doing. So this is just another nice beat,
Yep. And it is right through.
Right through.
And it is right here. And we're talking to Danny Weiser right here too.
Bizzaro actually came up with that name. He's very good with coming up with product names.
What the hell can't that guy do? Jeez.
I'm telling you, man. If anything ever happens to him, magic would be doomed.
Can't happen. Will not happen.
Will not happen. Yeah. He's a good guy. Really good guy.
Yep. And just to kind of reiterate something that you did just say, I want to make sure everyone knows. A lot of our friends are familiar with the traditional pin through bill, but the skill level for this hasn't changed. Just because there's something new added to it doesn't mean that it's harder to do. And Danny just said it again, I believe, that literally if you can click a pin, you can do the trick. So it doesn't make it harder just because it's a new version of it. What it's worth.
Right.
Another simple but fun piece of magic from Danny that we just got in, actually, that I was very excited to see. They're finally back in stock, Danny. The Oreo chip, you stretch it, and it's fun. It's a fun one, dude. Yeah.
It's one of my. So I have this back when we lived in the apartment before we moved into the house. I had this wall of all the tricks and products that I've released. They're all like frames. So I found like these really cool laid up frames, and that one was like in the middle and was the only one with the lights that still worked in the frames. So just like it made the trick just feel so much more cooler. But that Hanson did a fantastic job with that.
Where's my it's like it's not really showing up to you.
Exactly. Yes. Every time I walk past it, it's like opening up like you're
another smart piece of magic, but not hard to do, It's
not hard to do.
Another visual one, Well, I'm excited for you to have this out. I know that as magicians, sometimes it takes a while, to have your ideas go from just being an idea to something that you can physically hold and open. And I'm excited for you and for you guys out there too. We are very proud to have this for you at your neighborhood friendly All Things Magic shop. So we are very proud. We'll have the link in the description of the video and probably down in the comments. If you have any other questions though, and I know we're not done just yet, but if you guys out there have any other questions about this, and of course, as always, we're not going to reveal the secrets, but if you have questions about, if this is for you or not, you can always post them in the comments too. And I'll do my best to try to answer those. I can go back to the instructional, or I can reach out to Danny if I don't know something too. But if you do have more questions that maybe something we didn't nail here, feel free to let us know in the comments. We want to make sure
Yeah,
you
so
guys know.
I'm a member of the group too. So if you have any questions, you can always just at me and tag me, and I'll get a notification so I can see it. I can try to answer it as soon as possible.
All right.
What's really great about this is also we tried to keep the price point at a normal price point.
Yep.
Which I'm really thrilled about because I didn't want it to be out of too many people's reach,
Mm-hmm.
and I try not to have my products too expensive.
Yeah.
So it's at like a sweet spot of $45.
Yeah. Yeah. And I honestly think that when you guys open the box and you see what's going on, you're going to think, holy shit, this is only $45.
Yeah.
It's definitely a nice kit. And again, what a nice breath of fresh air to have a pin through bill prop that doesn't look like a prop. That alone is nice, along with all the other new additions here. But
so aside from you having told me that, we just saw this trailer from Danny, Hanson Chen reached out to me. Dan White saw it and he really likes it. Who else? David Regal also saw it, who is my main squeeze. Super awesome guy. Chris Wheel, Angelo Carbone. I can't forget about Angelo.
I'm going through the list here. Kyle Purnell, Matthew Wright, marvelous Matthew Wright.
Yes. Really,
Yeah.
really big names in Magic are really digging it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, very easy to see why. I mean, this takes something that we all are familiar with and now makes it even better, which doesn't happen every day. So, good stuff. If you guys haven't seen the full trailer, it is a fun one. You guys came to Vegas. I know it was a quick in and out, so we didn't get to see each other, but it's a fun one. Lots of fun with that one, which is nice to see. Not people just walking in slow motion,
train track,
graffiti,
glass breaking, all that. We wanted it to keep it. So I'm a big fan of the TV show The Office, and I kind of wanted to have that feel like of silliness to the trailer. And then Bizzaro also, he's a goofy guy. He wanted it to be fun and lighthearted. So this took a lot of iterations too, and I'm really proud of the Murphy's team for being able to get it to the point where it's at.
And shame on you for not saying, my name is Danny Weiser, and this is Write-Thru.
It's Write-Thru, yeah. No, I wanted to stay away from that generic, what's come to be known as the Magic trailer.
Yeah, you would think by now we'd be over that and past all that, but I don't think we are.
I mean,
well, congrats to you boys on a quality piece of Magic, and I know our friends out there are going to be very happy when they get this in their hands. Again, we are proud to have it. Link in the description. You guys can check it out. And yeah, any of those last questions you might have, lingering questions.
ATM.
Booyah!
Booyah. Respect.
Well, this one is also everything that it should be, and then some. Pin through bill with proof. With proof. Yes. I think we nailed it, man. I think we got everything people are looking for with Write-Thru. And Mr. Danny Weiser, you're a name that people have gotten used to hearing. So while we can't give away any details, I know that you do have a lot of things in the works, which is very exciting and not surprising. But we are very excited to see what else you end up coming out with in the future. So thanks for the time, as always.
I love what you're doing here. I support it.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah.
You have the Weiser stamp of approval, if that means anything.
It does, man. Around these parts, sometimes we have the F-bomb, seal of approval. Or, now I got the Weiser stamp.
I'll have to make myself like an iron stamp.
All right, my friends, and to you out there watching, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. We'll be back very soon with even more Magic content for you. So stay tuned and come back to check out even more all things Magic. Until next time, my friends, much love. Much love.
Peace.